You ever finish a game, sit there in silence, controller in hand, and just stare at the credits rolling, wondering how the hell anything else will top what you just experienced? This isn't just about good games, this is about the ones that leave a scar, the ones that turn pixels into poetry. These are legendary single-player story games you need to experience at least once in your life.
Listen to your honor. Ahriman is not your master. Fight him!
Prince of Persia. This isn't just a prince. He's a wanderer with no kingdom, no purpose, until destiny throws him into a world bleeding magic and decay. Prince of Persia is what happens when a game says, forget the rules, let's make something poetic. Gone are the sand powers and time rewinds. This reboot dives into myth with a cel-shaded art style so vivid it feels like you're playing a living painting. And at the heart of it all, a rogue with a sarcastic grin and a princess who won't let the world die quietly. You play as the prince, though he's more of a charming thief with a dagger and a devil-may-care attitude. After stumbling into a cursed land and meeting Alika, a priestess with magical powers, you're pulled into a journey to cleanse corruption. Literally, tree by tree, light by light. The story's deceptively simple: heal a dying world and stop an ancient god. But what makes it legendary is how it unfolds. The bond between the prince and Alika isn't forced romance. It's tension, growth, banter, pain. They build a relationship in real time, in gameplay, in dialogue, without needing a cutscene every 5 minutes. Combat is one-on-one. No hordes, no button-mashing chaos. Just you, your sword, Alika's magic, and duels that feel like choreographed dances on a crumbling stage. The ending? Oh man, it hits like a betrayal, a love letter, and a gut punch all at once. You'll sit there after the credits thinking, was I the hero or the villain? This isn't just a forgotten gem, it's a legendary tale wrapped in style, silence, and sorrow, and it deserves to be remembered.
You will be stopped.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. You want freedom? It's out there, somewhere past the horizon where the rules don't reach and the sea sings your name. Forget rooftops and secret orders for a second. This is Assassin's Creed Unshackled. Black Flag lets you trade hidden blades for cannons, and it's glorious. You are Edward Kenway, a Welsh pirate who couldn't care less about Templars or assassins. At least, not at first. He's chasing coin, rum, and infamy, until life starts chasing back. Set in the lawless Caribbean of the early 1700s, this game throws you into Havana, Nassau, Kingston, each teeming with opportunity and danger. But the real star? The Jackdaw, your ship, your pride, your freedom. Every storm you brave, every enemy fleet you sink, it's you carving your own legend across the waves. The gameplay is a perfect cocktail of stealth, naval warfare, and good old-fashioned sword fighting. Boarding enemy ships never gets old. Neither does diving into shipwrecks, hunting sharks, or blasting sea shanties while you chase a Spanish galleon through a hurricane. But under the swagger and cannon smoke lies something deeper. Edward isn't a hero, not yet. His story is about loss, about the cost of freedom, about growing into something greater than yourself. And when the ocean quiets and the final scenes roll, yeah, it gets you right in the chest. Black Flag isn't just a pirate simulator, it's a swan song for dreamers, drifters, and rogues trying to outrun their past. And for a moment, it lets you believe that freedom is just one sail away.
¡Lo veo directamente!
Far Cry 3. Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? It starts with a party, friends, beaches, laughter, then gunfire, then cages, then Vas Montenegro, staring into your soul like he already knows how this ends. Far Cry 3 doesn't just throw you onto a tropical island, it hurls you into the abyss and dares you to crawl back out. You play as Jason Brody, a rich American kid with zero survival skills at first, but as the jungle swallows you whole, something inside starts to twist. Each kill gets easier, each choice gets darker. You're not just rescuing friends anymore, you're losing pieces of who you were. The island is breathtaking, lush, vibrant, deadly. It feels alive, Predator and prey blur fast. One minute you're gliding over cliffs in a wingsuit, the next you're skinning a tiger to craft a bigger ammo pouch. Freedom is everywhere, so is danger. But it's Voss who makes this game legendary. His monologues, bone-chilling. His presence, unpredictable. He's not just a villain, he's a mirror. And the scariest part? You get him. Just a little too much. Far Cry 3 doesn't ask if you'll change. It shows you. With fire, with blood, with that final choice that still sparks debate a decade later. This isn't just a shooter, it's a psychological freefall wrapped in tropical paradise. And once you fall in, climbing out isn't guaranteed. Red Dead Redemption. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven. You live with it, or you don't. Red Dead Redemption isn't about cowboys. It's about ghosts. The ghost of the Wild West, of a broken man, of an era being dragged, kicking and bleeding into the modern world. You are John Marston, an ex-outlaw forced to hunt down the men he once rode with, all because the government says your family's life depends on it. The setting? Bleak deserts, dusty towns, the edges of law and civilization. You feel it in every horse gallop, every worn-down saloon, every gunshot that echoes too long. But the story? That's where the legend lives. It's not flashy, it's slow, heavy, honest, and it builds into something that hits harder than you expect. Marston isn't a hero. He's a man trying to atone in a world that doesn't believe in redemption. Every choice he makes, every step he takes, you feel the weight of his past clawing at his back. It's a tale soaked in mud, blood, and regret, and it refuses to give you easy answers. Gunfights are sharp and brutal, duels are tense, but it's the quiet moments, riding at sunset, watching your son learn to hunt, standing on your porch with a rifle in hand, that stick with you. And that ending. It's not just iconic, it's devastating. A perfect, cruel, poetic full stop. Red Dead Redemption doesn't just let you play the end of an era, it makes you feel it die, one bullet at a time. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. He's not a hero, he's a phantom, a shadow of something that once had a name. Metal Gear Solid 5 doesn't explain everything, it haunts you with what it doesn't say. You are Venom Snake. Or are you? A soldier reborn from fire and betrayal, rebuilding an army from the ashes while dragging the weight of a lost identity through blood-soaked sand. Set across the open deserts of Afghanistan and the war-torn jungles of Africa, MGSV trades linear stealth for tactical freedom. Want to ride in on horseback and tranquilize everyone in their sleep? Go for it. Call in an airstrike, sneak under tanks, Fulton extract a goat mid-mission? Totally your call. Chaos, silence, or style, your rules. But beneath the slick gameplay lies a quiet tragedy. The Phantom Pain isn't about victory. It's about what's missing. The man you were, the face you lost, the friends turned enemies. Kojima gives you all the tools, and none of the answers. And yes, you'll hear Maneater blasting from a helicopter as you infiltrate an outpost with D-Dog by your side. But then you'll watch a soldier beg for his life before infection consumes him. And just like that, the thrill curdles. This game doesn't tie its threads in a bow, it pulls them loose, lets you feel the fraying. You're not building peace, you're building a legacy that was never yours, and pretending it fits. MGSV doesn't give you closure, it gives you silence, reflection, and that final tape, the truth, it doesn't answer the question, it becomes one.
Where do you think you're going?
Dishonored 2, they stole your crown, now they'll beg for your mercy, and find none. Dishonored 2, revenge isn't loud, it's whispered through alleys hidden behind masks and carved with style. You step into the boots of either Emily Kaldwin, the dethroned empress with a heart full of steel, or Corvo Attano, the royal protector haunted by the blood he's already spilled. Two paths, one purpose. Take back what's yours. Set in the sun-scorched, plague-shadowed streets of Karnaca, the city bleeds personality. Blood flies infest abandoned homes, and nobility hides behind gilded lies. Every level is a twisted puzzle box, and every corner dares you to improvise. Gameplay? It's an art form. Want to blink across rooftops, choke out guards, leave no trace. Done. Powers return, evolve, and tempt. But it's the choice. Kill or spare, ghost or storm, that defines who you become. And the story? It's quiet, cold, personal. You're not saving the world, just setting it right. The people who betrayed you smile in public and poison in private, but you know how to smile too, just before the blade goes in. The world reacts to you. Become merciful and it breathes easier. Leave a trail of corpses and it rots around you. Dishonored 2 doesn't preach morality. It makes you wear it. This isn't just stealth. It's elegance sharpened to a point. A masterpiece of mood, consequence, and deadly grace, where vengeance is a dance and every step leaves a mark.
Let me show you how I got my stripes!
For an opening!
Hold still!
Last of Us Part 1. You keep going, for family, for survival. But the truth is, sometimes you just keep going because stopping hurts worse. The Last of Us Part 1 doesn't start with action, it starts with loss. And from that moment, you know this isn't your typical zombie game. This is a story about what happens when the world ends, and you still have to wake up the next day. You are Joel, a broken man who's seen too much. And then you meet Ellie, a teenage girl who's somehow immune to the infection destroying everything. What begins as a job, just get her across the country, slowly, painfully, turns into something else, something human. The journey takes you through a ruined America, not just buildings, but people, quiet towns overgrown with vines, frozen forests hiding snipers, malls, sewers, suburbs, all turned into graveyards. But it's the in-between moments that hit hardest. Stolen jokes, awkward silences, broken trust. Gameplay is tense, deliberate. Every bullet counts. You're not mowing down enemies, but you're scrambling to survive. Stealth isn't just strategy, it's desperation. And when things go loud, it's messy, brutal, real. But what truly makes it legendary? The ending, that final choice. The one that leaves you staring at the screen in silence, questioning everything you thought you knew about right and wrong. The Last of Us isn't about monsters. It's about what we become to protect the ones we love, and what we lose along the way. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Evil is evil. Lesser, greater, middling, makes no difference. You kill a monster, then ride into a town full of worse ones. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a grizzled, silver-haired monster slayer for hire. He's not a hero. He doesn't want to save the world. He just wants to find his adopted daughter, survive long enough to see her safe, and maybe, if the world allows it, finally rest. But the world of The Witcher 3 doesn't allow much. It's a land soaked in war, betrayal, magic, and monsters, both the ones in forests and the ones sitting on thrones. And as Geralt, you walk that line, blade in hand, head down, eyes tired. Every side quest here feels like its own short story, dense with twists, heartbreak, and moral weight. Everything costs. The choices you make, they ripple. Not with a loud karma system, but with quiet consequences. People remember, lives change, endings shift. And when it comes to Ciri, the girl you raised like your own, the stakes turn personal real fast. Combat is fast, fluid, and tactical. Swordplay meets alchemy, magic, and signs. One wrong move and you're dead. One right move and you look like a myth made real. But what cements The Witcher 3 as legendary? It's how lived in the world feels. Every location bleeds character. This isn't just a game, it's a masterpiece, a journey. And when the credits roll, you'll realize you don't just miss Geralt, you miss the world he walked through. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. You spend your whole life chasing something, only to realize the real treasure might have been what you almost left behind. Uncharted 4 isn't just a swashbuckling finale. It's Nathan Drake finally asking himself who he is without the chase. You're older now, out of the game, settled, married. But when your long-lost brother Sam shows up with promises of pirate gold and danger, well, one last ride can't hurt, right? From jungle ruins to Scottish highlands, from bustling Madagascar markets to a pirate utopia lost in time, this game is cinematic to its bones. Naughty Dog doesn't just render environments, they sculpt them with emotion. Every vista feels like a memory unfolding. The combat and climbing are smooth as ever, but now there's a new rhythm. Slower, more thoughtful. Set pieces still explode with chaos and spectacle, but they're balanced with quiet moments. Glances, conversations, guilt. Because beneath the banter and bullets, this is a story about letting go, about growing up, about whether chasing greatness is worth the wreckage it leaves behind. And for Nate, it means facing the consequences of a life built on lies, obsession, and adrenaline highs. The chemistry between Nate and Elena, painfully real. The conflict with Sam, messy, brotherly, human. And when that epilogue hits, you feel it. A goodbye. A legacy passed on. Quietly, lovingly. Uncharted 4 isn't just the end of a story. It's the perfect end. One that doesn't explode, it exhales. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. No waypoint, no hand-holding, just wind in your hair and the ruins of a kingdom waiting to be remembered. Breath of the Wild doesn't shout, it whispers. Through rustling grass, distant storms, and the ruins of a world long fallen. You are Link, awakened from a century of sleep with no memory and only a broken Hyrule to guide you. The mission? Defeat Calamity Ganon. But the real journey? That's up to you. There's no strict path here. You can glide off a cliff, climb a mountain just to see the sunrise, stumble into a hidden shrine. Every step you take feels earned, every moment unscripted. And while the combat is fluid and versatile, with swords, shields, bows, bombs, even cooking ingredients, it's the freedom that defines the game. Systems interact in ways that feel limitless. Set fire to dry grass, ride the wind with your paraglider, freeze water into stepping stones. Creativity is your weapon. The story? Quiet, mournful, told in fragments and memories. Princess Zelda isn't waiting in a tower. She's holding Ganon back with the last of her strength. And as you piece together what was lost, you realize Hyrule wasn't just destroyed, it was loved, and it still is. It's not just a game, it's exploration turned into emotion. And when the music swells as you reach a mountaintop you had to climb for an hour just because it looked interesting. Yeah, you feel that. Breath of the Wild is a legend, not because it tells you a great story, but because it lets you write one. Elden Ring. No map markers, no mercy. Just a broken world, a broken sword, and the question, how far will you go to carve your name into legend? Elden Ring doesn't tell you what to do. It stares at you, silent, towering, cruel, and waits for you to move. You are a tarnished, cast out, nameless, crawling through the ash of a fallen golden age. Your mission? Claim the Elden Ring and become something more than mortal. But that's just the bones. The soul is something far deeper. The lands between are vast, desolate, and beautiful in a way only decay can be. Castles rotting into cliffsides, swamps that choke out the sky, giant trees looming like gods long dead. And every inch of it feels alive, not in a friendly way, in a feral one. Combat is brutal, precise, poetic. Every enemy demands respect. Every boss feels like a cathedral built to your suffering. One wrong step and you're dead. One perfect dodge and you're dancing with gods. Magic, swords, summoning spirits. You fight your way or not at all. But here's what makes Elden Ring truly legendary. Discovery. There's always something just beyond the mist. A hidden dungeon, a forgotten king, a sword with a name that sounds like prophecy. The game never says, go here. It whispers, if you dare. And when the story does unfold, in cryptic lore, shattered statues, and quiet NPCs with tragic eyes, you realize this isn't just dark fantasy. It's a world where power is rot, beauty is pain, and the line between godhood and madness has already crumbled. Elden Ring doesn't guide you, it tests you. And if you endure long enough to stand before its final fire, you don't feel victorious, you feel worthy. Ghost of Tsushima. They wanted a samurai. What they got was a storm. Ghost of Tsushima is the kind of game that doesn't just tell a story, it breathes it. You are Jin Sakai, a noble samurai bound by ancient codes, until a brutal Mongol invasion tears your island and your soul in half. What happens next isn't a simple revenge tale, it's a transformation, a war between tradition and survival. Tsushima isn't just a backdrop, it's a painting brought to life. Golden forests whisper in the wind, crimson leaves scatter during duels, and mist-shrouded mountains hide the path forward. Exploration isn't forced, it flows. You follow wind instead of waypoints. Nature becomes your compass. Combat is surgical. As a samurai, you duel with precision, parry, strike, honor. But as the ghost, you adapt. Stealth, fear tactics, poison darts, things your uncle would call dishonorable. But the enemy doesn't play by the rules, so why should you? Every moment is cinematic. From the silent standoff at a village gate to the heart-wrenching poetry of haiku beneath a tree, the game knows when to let you feel, not just fight. And as Jin walks the line between man and myth, you realize this story isn't about saving an island. It's about sacrificing yourself to become what the people need, even if it means losing who you were. Ghost of Tsushima isn't just legendary because of its combat or beauty. It's legendary because it dares to ask, how far would you go to protect your home if honor had to die for it?
My turn.
God of War 2018. The gods of Olympus are behind him, but the hardest war Kratos has ever faced is the one inside his own home. This isn't the same Kratos you remember. The blades are buried. The rage is quiet. For now. In God of War 2018, you are no longer a god slayer. You're a father, guiding your son Atreus through a world of Norse myth, loss, and things left unsaid. The journey begins with death. A funeral pyre and a promise. Take her ashes to the highest peak. That's it. But along the way, trolls, dragons, gods, monsters, and something even more terrifying, learning how to talk to your kid. Combat is a brutal ballet. The Leviathan axe is more than a weapon. It's an extension of Kratos' control, his restraint, his precision. Throw it, recall it, chain it with fists and rage. Every hit feels like it weighs 100 years of pain. But what truly makes this game legendary is its intimacy. The camera never cuts. The dialogue never wastes a word. Watching Kratos struggle to say, "I'm proud of you," hits harder than any boss fight. And Atreus? He's not just there to follow. He learns, grows, questions, pushes back. As Norse gods stir and secrets surface, the story swells into something mythic yet deeply personal. You're not just watching a legend unfold, you're shaping it, one hard-earned step at a time. God of War 2018 is more than a comeback. It's a meditation on grief, identity, and fatherhood, wrapped in axe throws and ancient runes. And by the end, you won't just respect Kratos, you'll understand him. Horizon Zero Dawn. In a world ruled by machines, she hunts with a bow and questions the past no one dares to speak of. Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't start with a bang, it starts with silence. Nature has reclaimed the earth. Skyscrapers are bones. Humanity has fallen. But the world thrives in a new, wilder form. And at the center of it all stands Aloy, outcast, hunter, orphan, and the spark that will reignite the truth. You're not just fighting robot dinosaurs, though yes, that's as awesome as it sounds. You're uncovering a mystery buried deep beneath rust and ruins. Who were the old ones? What ended the world? And why does a girl born into nothing carry the key to everything? Combat is fast, strategic, and deeply satisfying. You don't charge in, you analyze. Set traps, tear off armor plates, exploit elemental weaknesses. Every machine has a personality. Every encounter is a chess match, with claws. But it's not just the gameplay, it's the world. From sunlit deserts to snowy peaks, ancient data towers to tribal strongholds, Horizon builds a future that feels lived in. Beautiful, dangerous, forgotten. And Aloy, she's not your typical chosen one. She questions everything, with intellect, empathy, and the drive of someone who's never had answers until now. And when the truth unravels, when the past and future collide in one of gaming's most jaw-dropping lore reveals, you realize this isn't just sci-fi. It's a story about identity, legacy, and whether humanity deserves a second chance. Horizon Zero Dawn is a masterpiece of discovery, and Aloy, she's not just surviving the apocalypse, she's rewriting it. Rise of the Tomb Raider. She went into the wild to find answers. What she discovered was who she really is. In Rise of the Tomb Raider, Lara isn't running anymore, she's hunting. After the traumatic events of Yamatai, she's driven, scarred, and obsessed with uncovering the truth behind immortality. The game drops her into the frozen wilderness of Siberia, chasing a lost city, an ancient prophet, and the shadowy organization known as Trinity. This is where the survivor becomes the Tomb Raider. The puzzles are grander, the tombs are deeper, and the secrets soaked in forgotten history and danger. You're not just pressing switches, you're reading murals, translating ancient languages, thinking like an explorer. Combat is fluid and tactical. Bow, climbing axe, silenced pistol, you build your arsenal as you grow. Stealth matters. Environment matters. You'll craft traps, shoot arrows through fire, and make every fight your own. And survival? It's not just a backdrop. It's a mechanic. You scavenge, you hunt, you adapt. Visually, it's breathtaking. Snowstorms blind you, ruins rise from ice, and forgotten tombs glow with eerie gold. Every inch of the world begs to be explored, and rewards those who look deeper. But beneath the action, this is a story about identity, about legacy, about a woman searching for meaning in the madness. Lara's no longer just her father's daughter. She's forging her own legend, one broken bone and ancient relic at a time. Rise of the Tomb Raider doesn't just elevate Lara, it redefines her. She's not just a hero, she's history in motion.
Give me suppressing fire!
These weren't just games, they were journeys, stories etched into memory, worlds that changed us. Whether you fought gods, survived nightmares, or just walked through silence, you lived these legends, and trust me, the best stories, they don't end at game over. If one of these titles hit you right in the soul, let me know in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we've got more legendary tales to tell. Until next time, keep playing, keep feeling, and never stop chasing that next great story.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?